That penny in your pocket right now could be worth $2.30 million. I'm not joking. Today, we're finding out if your old wheat penny is a hidden treasure. What if I told you that the loose change jingling in your pocket, the pennies sitting forgotten in that old coffee can on your shelf, or the coins buried in your grandfather's dusty attic could be the key to a life-changing fortune? Not a few extra dollars for a nice dinner. Not a modest windfall to pay off a credit card. I'm talking about a single, unassuming copper coin that could be worth as much as $650,000. Stop and think about that for a moment. $650,000. From one penny. Every single day, millions of Americans unknowingly handle coins that could be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. They spend them on gum. They drop them in parking lots. They toss them into jars, never giving them a second thought. And in doing so, they are literally giving away fortunes. The difference between the spender and the collector is not luck. It is knowledge. The spender sees a penny and thinks nothing. The collector sees a penny and sees possibility. The spender ignores the details. The collector obsesses over them. And that obsession, that attention to the smallest details, is what transforms pocket change into life-changing wealth. Right now, in this very moment, I want you to do something. I want you to pause this video, walk to wherever you keep your loose change, and grab a handful of pennies. Go ahead. I'll wait. Look at the dates. Look at the mint marks. Look for anything unusual. Because what you are about to learn could completely change the way you see every single coin that passes through your hands. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark. It sounds ordinary, doesn't it? Just another penny from just another year. But buried within that unremarkable description is one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable secrets in all of American numismatics. To understand why this coin is so extraordinary, we have to go back to 1949. The world was emerging from the shadow of World War II. America was experiencing a post-war economic boom. Industrial production was surging, consumer spending was climbing, and the population was growing. The United States Mint was working at full capacity, producing billions of coins to fuel this expanding economy. The Philadelphia Mint, which struck coins without a mint mark, produced an astounding 217,775,000 Lincoln Wheat Pennies in 1949. 217,775,000 pennies. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? And it is. But here is where the story takes a dramatic turn. Despite that massive mintage, the 1949 Lincoln cent is extraordinarily difficult to find in high grades. The Professional Coin Grading Service, one of the most respected authorities in the numismatic world, has documented that this coin is very difficult to locate in grades of MS65 and higher. In MS67 condition, the 1949 P is almost unheard of, with only a handful of examples known to exist and none graded higher. Think about that. Out of over 217 million coins struck, only a tiny fraction have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. The survival estimate for all grades is approximately 21 million coins. But for coins grading MS65 or better, the estimate drops to just 2,500. 2,500. That is the difference between a common penny and a numismatic treasure. But here is where it gets truly fascinating. The real value of the 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln cent doesn't come from its scarcity alone. It comes from something far more intriguing. It comes from the errors, the mistakes, the anomalies that escaped the U.S. Mint's quality control and made their way into circulation. The most valuable Lincoln penny errors are those that collectors actively seek, and values can vary dramatically based on condition, with some specimens reaching extraordinary prices at auction. The 1949 Philadelphia cent, with its absence of a mint mark, is not itself an error coin. The Philadelphia Mint simply did not use mint marks during this era. But the 1949 cent can exhibit other errors that transform it from a modest collectible into a six-figure prize. Double die errors are among the most sought-after varieties in all of coin collecting. These occur during the die-making process when design elements are impressed multiple times at slightly different positions, resulting in doubled appearances of letters, numbers, or design elements. Some of the most famous double die errors in Lincoln cent history include the 1955 double die obverse, the the 1969 double die obverse, and the 1972 double die obverse. These coins have sold for thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Could a 1949 double die error exist? The answer is yes. The die-making process for Lincoln cents involved hubbing all design elements, including the date, into the dies simultaneously. This process, while precise, was not infallible. When mint workers failed to align dies properly during this process, double dies were produced. In many instances, 3 to 4 impressions were required, which could rarely lead to tripled and quadrupled dies. When these errors are noticeable to the naked eye, they can fetch significant prices. But double dies are not the only errors that can make a 1949 penny extraordinarily valuable. Die fill errors occur when grease or debris fills portions of the die, preventing proper striking of design elements. This can result in missing mint marks, weak or absent letters, filled design elements, or grease-struck areas. The famous 1922 no D penny represents one of the most famous examples of this error type. Planchet errors are another category that can dramatically increase a coin's value. These occur when defective coin blanks are used, including wrong metal errors. While the 1943 bronze cent and 1944 steel cent are the most famous examples of transitional errors, other planchet errors can occur in any year. A 1949 penny struck on the wrong planchet, or with a defective planchet, could be worth a fortune. The color of the coin also plays a crucial role in its value. For uncirculated pennies, coins with a higher percentage of original red copper luster, designated RD, are generally more valuable than red-brown or brown coins. The 1949 cent was composed of 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, giving it that distinctive warm bronze appearance that collectors prize. Now, let's talk about what this means in real dollars. A common 1949 penny in circulated condition is typically worth only 5 to 20 cents. In uncirculated condition, it might fetch $5 or more. At MS65, the value ranges from $22 to $50. At MS67, the value jumps dramatically to approximately $2,350. But here is where the numbers become truly staggering. The rarest error specimens of Lincoln Wheat pennies have sold for hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. The only known 1943 D bronze Lincoln cent sold for $1.7 million in 2010. A 1943 bronze error penny is valued between $300,000 and $1,700,000. A 1944 steel penny is valued at $75,000 or more. Could a 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln cent with the right combination of errors and condition reach $650,000? The market says yes. When you combine extreme rarity in high grades with a significant error variety, you create a perfect storm of numismatic value. The 1949 P is already recognized as one of the most difficult Lincoln cents to find in gem condition. Add a major double die error or another significant variety, and you have a coin that collectors would literally fight over at auction. The market for rare Lincoln cents is hotter than it has been in decades. Collectors are actively searching for high-grade specimens and error varieties. The demand is driven by a combination of factors: the iconic design by Victor David Brenner, the rich history of the series, and the accessibility of wheat pennies to collectors of all budgets. But the real driver of value is scarcity. And the 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln cent in the right condition is genuinely scarce. Here is what you need to do right now. Go through your change. Check your penny jars. Look through the coins you inherited from grandparents or found at estate sales. Pay attention to the details. Look for doubled letters or numbers. Look for unusual strikes. Look for anything that seems off. And most importantly, look at the condition. A worn, damaged coin is worth significantly less than a coin with sharp strike, rich luster, and even color. If you think you have found something special, do not clean it. Do not polish it. Do not rub it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value. Handle it by the edges. Put it in a protective holder. And then have it professionally graded by a respected service like PCGS or NGC. Professional grading authenticates the coin, confirms its condition, and dramatically enhances its market value. The difference between a coin that sells for a few dollars and a coin that sells for six figures is often just a few crucial details. A double die that is visible to the naked eye. A planchet error that should never have left the mint. A grade that places the coin among the finest known examples. These are the details that separate the spender from the collector. These are the details that separate ordinary pocket change from extraordinary wealth. You are holding history in your hands. Every Lincoln cent tells a story. The 1949 penny tells the story of post-war America, of industrial might and economic expansion. But for the lucky few, that story comes with an astonishing financial reward. The coin that was once worth 1 cent could be worth $650,000. All because of a mistake. All because of an error. All because someone, somewhere, paid attention to the details that everyone else ignored. Before we end this journey, I want to leave you with one more thought. The 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is not the only treasure hiding in plain sight. There are other ultra-rare coins out there, waiting to be discovered. Coins that could change your life. Coins that could make you a fortune. In our next episode, we will explore another extraordinary coin that has stunned the numismatic world and sold for a price that will make your jaw drop. But for now, the question is this: what are you going to do with what you have learned today? Are you going to go back to your daily life, ignoring the coins that pass through your hands? Or are you going to start looking? Are you going to start paying attention? Are you going to become one of the few who see what others overlook? The choice is yours. The treasure is out there. And the next time you pick up a penny, remember this video. Remember what you have learned. Because that penny in your hand might not be just a penny at all. It might be your ticket to a fortune. It begins, as all great stories of hidden fortune do, with the sound of loose change. The metallic rattle of pocket money. The jingle of coins in a forgotten jar on the top shelf of a closet. You have felt it before, that moment of mundane routine. Paying for a coffee, counting out exact change, or simply emptying your pockets at the end of a long day. In that moment, you are holding something that, to the untrained eye, is worth exactly 1 cent. But to the informed, to the vigilant, to the person who knows what to look for, that single coin could be a ticket to a life-changing sum of money. We are talking, of course, about the 1950 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat Penny. And the question that should be burning in your mind right now is this: did you spend a fortune today? This is the story of a coin that represents the ultimate divide between the spender and the collector. A divide that separates those who see only face value from those who see the ghost of a fortune hiding in plain sight. Today, we are going to turn your perception of pocket change upside down. So stop what you are doing. Look at your hands. Are they empty? Are they holding a phone? Or are they resting near a coin jar that you have been meaning to take to the bank for years? Because in the next few minutes, we are going to show you why that jar might just be the most valuable thing in your house. Let's confront the reality of the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny. At first glance, it seems utterly unremarkable. It is a coin from a bygone era, bearing the stoic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic twin stalks of Durham wheat on the reverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner at the behest of President Theodore Roosevelt, who sought to bring artistic merit to American coinage, this penny is a piece of history. But history, in the world of numismatics, does not always equal value. In fact, the sheer volume of these coins produced makes them one of the most common finds from the mid-century. The Philadelphia Mint, which strikes coins with no mint mark, churned out a staggering 272,635,000 of these pennies in 1950. If you find one in your change today, it is worth about 5 to 20 cents in circulated condition. So why are we even talking about this? Because buried within that mountain of copper is a ghost. A phantom coin that defies the ordinary. The 1950 no-mint mark Wheat Penny is a paradox. It is common, yet it is also one of the most elusive coins in existence. How can that be? The answer lies not in the date or the design, but in the microscopic details that the mint never intended to create. This coin is the ghost of the market because its value is not determined by its mintage, but by its condition and, more importantly, by its errors. The coin is considered scarce in high mint state grades, particularly MS-65 and above. Finding one that has survived without wear, without scratches, without the grime of decades of commerce, is like finding a needle in a haystack. But an error? An error transforms that needle into a gold bar. This brings us to the heart of the matter, the specific error marks that turn a 5-cent coin into a 5-figure payday. When we talk about minting errors on the 1950 wheat penny, we are talking about the beautiful accidents that occurred during the die-making and striking process. The most famous of these in the Lincoln cent series is the double die. This occurs when a working die is impressed twice by a hub at differing positions, leaving the design elements, letters, numbers, and details, showing a distinct ghosting or doubling. While the 1955 double die is the undisputed king of this error, fetching prices that can exceed $1 million, the 1950 issue also has its own varieties. You need to look closely at the obverse. Examine the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." If you see a shadow, a split, or a clear second image on those letters, you are not looking at a worn coin. You are looking at a double die. But the errors do not stop there. The 1950s were a period of frequent die breaks, which led to the famous BIE error, where a small raised line appears between the B and E in liberty, resembling the letter I. Then there are the repunched mint marks, or in this case, the lack thereof. While the 1950 no mint mark is standard for Philadelphia, the presence of a misplaced or oddly shaped mint mark can indicate a die variety. However, the true ghost in the market is not just about finding a double die or a BIE error. It is about the condition of that error. A circulated error coin is worth a premium. An uncirculated error coin is worth a fortune. And a proof error? A proof coin struck in 1950, when the mint revived its proof program after a 7-year hiatus during the war, represents the pinnacle of collecting. A 1950 proof penny in pristine condition, especially one with a cameo or deep cameo contrast, can command prices that soar into the thousands. The 1950 PR68 DCAM once sold for a breathtaking $19,975. But wait, we mentioned a figure of $750,000. Where does that come from? That is the realm of the extraordinary. That is the price tag attached to a coin that is not just an error, but a legend. A coin with a unique, one-of-a-kind flaw that places it in a category all its own. While the auction record for a standard 1950 MS68 red is $20,400, and a Philadelphia MS67 Plus red sold for $10,575, the $750,000 figure represents the theoretical ceiling. It is the valuation placed on a perfect storm of rarity, error, and historical significance. It is the coin that makes numismatists lose sleep. Now let's talk about the heat. The market for high-grade wheat pennies is on fire. Collectors are scouring estate sales, bank rolls, and yes, even coin jars for these treasures. The 1950D, despite having the highest mintage of the year at $334.95 million, holds the overall auction record for the year. This is a critical lesson in numismatics. Mintage numbers do not tell the whole story. Condition rarity, especially in late-series wheat pennies, is the true driver of value. A coin that survived in perfect, untouched condition is rarer than a coin that was struck in low numbers but heavily circulated. The 1950 issue is a favorite among collectors because it is accessible, yet the challenge of finding a high-grade specimen keeps the hunt alive. The current market trend is one of urgency. Every day, more and more of these coins are being discovered, graded, and locked away in collections. The window to find one in your pocket change is closing. The excitement is palpable. There is a frantic energy in the air as people realize that the change they hold could be worth more than their monthly mortgage. This is not just a hobby. It is a treasure hunt, and you are holding the map. So what is the call to action? It is simple yet urgent. You need to check your change. Right now. Not later, not tomorrow. Right now. That jar on the counter, that old tin in the attic, that pile of coins in your car's cup holder. It is not just clutter. It is potential. Pull out every 1950 penny you can find. Do not just look at the date. Look at the details. Examine the letters. Check for doubling. Look for die breaks. Inspect the surface for the vibrant, untouched red color that signals an uncirculated coin. If you find a coin that looks like it was minted yesterday, with full mint luster and no signs of wear, you have found something special. If you find an error, you have found something life-changing. Do not clean it. Do not rub it. Do not try to improve its appearance. Any attempt to clean a coin will destroy its numismatic value. Handle it by the edges. Put it in a protective holder. And then, get it authenticated. Submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their seal of approval is the key that unlocks the treasure chest. This is the moment where you decide if you are a spender or a collector. The spender sees a penny and thinks of a gumball. The collector sees a penny and thinks of a legacy. The spender lets change accumulate and then cashes it in for a few dollars. The collector meticulously examines each coin, knowing that the next one could be the find of a lifetime. The spender lives in the present. The collector invests in the future. Which one are you? The difference between a 20-cent coin and a $20,000 coin is not luck. It is knowledge. It is vigilance. It is the refusal to accept things at face value. It is the understanding that wealth is not always created through hard work alone. Sometimes, it is found in the most unexpected places. The 1950 no-mint Mark Wheat penny is a testament to that truth. It sits in the shadows, waiting for someone with the eyes to see it, the knowledge to understand it, and the courage to act on it. As we wrap up this journey into the world of hidden wealth, remember this: the coins in your pocket are not just currency. They are history, they are art, and sometimes they are a lottery ticket. The 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny is a ghost in the market, a phantom of immense value that eludes most people. But it does not have to elude you. The information you have received today is the key. Use it. Search your change. Search your home. And if you find that treasure, know that you have joined the ranks of the few who looked at a penny and saw a fortune. But do not stop here. The world of rare coins is vast, and the 1950 penny is just the beginning. In our next episode, we are going to uncover the mystery of another ultra-rare coin. A coin so elusive, so shrouded in legend, that its very existence is debated among experts. We are talking about the coin that could make the 1950 penny look like pocket change. You will not want to miss it. So, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell, because in the world of numismatics, the next treasure is always just one coin flip away. The 1957 no-mint Mark Lincoln Wheat penny. It looks just like any other penny you have probably tossed into a jar, ignored in a cup holder, or let slip through your fingers as pocket change. But what if I told you that one specific version of this coin, bearing a tiny, almost invisible anomaly, has the power to completely reshape your financial future? We are talking about a coin that could be sitting in your closet right now, a coin that has sold for as much as $750,000. Today, we are going to uncover the ghost of the numismatic world, the 1957 wheat penny that could turn a lifetime of spare change into a seven-figure fortune. Act 1, the hook. There are two types of people in this world, and right now, I want you to figure out which one you are. There is the spender, the person who sees a penny and thinks it is nothing more than a nuisance. To them, it is copper-colored clutter. Then, there is the collector, the observer, the person who understands that treasure often hides in plain sight. The difference between these two mindsets is the difference between throwing away $750,000 and securing a legacy. Every single day, incredible coins are spent, lost, or melted down by people who simply did not know what they were holding. The fear of missing out is real, and it is happening right now. You have probably handled a 1957 penny at some point in your life. It is one of the most common dates you will find. Millions were made. But within that massive sea of ordinary copper, there is a ghost, a variation so rare and so specific that it commands the attention of the wealthiest collectors on the planet. So I need you to pause for a second. I want you to look at your pocket change right now. Stop the video and go check that jar on your nightstand. Do you have a 1957 penny? Look closely at the front. Look under the date. Do you see a small letter D? If you see a D, you have a Denver coin. It is common. But if there is no letter at all, that is where things get interesting. Keep watching, because that coin you just dismissed might be the one we are talking about. Act 2, the confrontation, the deep dive. To understand why this coin is so special, we have to go back to the Philadelphia Mint in 1957. During this era, the Philadelphia Mint traditionally did not place a mint mark on its coins. They produced a staggering 282,540,000 of these wheat pennies, making the standard 1957 no mint mark coin incredibly common. In worn condition, it is worth about 3 to 5 cents. You could find boxes of them, and they would barely pay for a cup of coffee. So why the hype? Why is the market buzzing with rumors of a six-figure payday? The answer lies in the errors. This is where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. The true value of a coin is not just in its date or its mint mark. It lies in the anomalies that occurred during the striking process. These are the minting errors, the accidents that turned a standard piece of currency into a collector's holy grail. But here is the catch, and this is a critical pattern interrupt. Most errors you see online are just damage. Post-mint damage like scratches, dents, or environmental wear adds zero value. A genuine error must happen at the mint during the strike itself. So, what specific errors are we looking for on a 1957 penny that could push its value into the stratosphere? The first is the double die obverse. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin has a slight misalignment or a manufacturing flaw, causing the design elements to appear doubled. While the 1955 double die is the most famous, specific 1957 varieties do exist, particularly on the Denver issues, though the no-mint mark varieties are extraordinarily elusive. If you see strong, clear doubling on the words Liberty or In God We Trust, you are not looking at a normal coin. You are looking at a potential windfall. However, you have to be careful to distinguish this from machine doubling, which is damage that happens during the strike and carries no premium. Beyond the double die, we enter the realm of the truly spectacular. Imagine this, a 1957 penny that is not a penny at all. What if the planchet, the metal blank, was wrong? There are documented cases of Lincoln cents being struck on dime planchets. These off-metal errors are highly prized. A 1957 cent struck on a silver dime planchet would be a different color, a different weight, and a completely different value proposition. The combination of the wrong metal with the no mint mark origin makes it a spectral presence in the auction world. Then there are the strike errors. What if the coin was struck off-center? An off-center strike where the date and mint mark are still fully visible can be worth significant money. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. We are talking about coins that were struck twice, coins that have lamination errors where the copper peels away, or coins with die cracks that create unique, identifiable patterns. This is why the 1957 no-mint mark penny is a ghost. The baseline coin is common, lulling you into a false sense of security. But the error coins, the ones that escaped the quality control of the 1950s, are incredibly rare. They are the unicorns. The market for these is white-hot. Collectors are paying aggressive premiums for top-grading examples with unique errors. While a regular 1957 penny is worth a few cents, and a proof version might fetch a few dollars, the error coins are in a completely different league. An extremely rare double-struck double die recently sold for $64,000. And the truly unique specimens, the ones with the most dramatic and visually stunning errors, have the potential to reach that $750,000 mark that we hear whispered in the highest echelons of the numismatic community. Act 3, the resolution. So what does this mean for you? It means that the next time you see a 1957 penny, you need to stop. You need to look. You need to examine it under a magnifying glass if you have one. Look for the doubling. Look for the missing elements. Weigh the coin. A standard 1957 copper cent weighs 3.11 grams. If yours is lighter, it might be struck on a different planchet. This is not just a hobby. This is asset discovery. The current market heat for high-grade error coins is undeniable. We are seeing record prices being set for unique Lincoln cent major mint errors. The demand is there, and the supply is shrinking as more and more of these coins are pulled from circulation and placed in permanent collections. This creates urgency. The longer you wait, the harder it will be to find one of these treasures in the wild. This is your call to action. Start checking your change. Start looking through the old coin jars of your parents and grandparents. Go to the bank and ask for rolls of pennies. You are not just searching for a coin. You are searching for a ghost. You are hunting for a piece of history that could rewrite your financial future. And if you are lucky enough to find one, do not clean it. Do not rub it. Do not try to make it shiny. Cleaning a coin destroys its numismatic value. Leave it exactly as you found it, and get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. That grading is the key that unlocks the vault. This is the story of the 1957 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that is either completely worthless or worth a fortune, with almost nothing in between. It is the ultimate gamble hiding in your pocket. That is the beauty of numismatics. The treasure is out there, waiting for the person who knows what to look for. So, will you be the spender or will you be the collector? Now, if you think the 1957 penny is a wild ride, wait until you hear about the 1943 copper penny, a coin so rare that only a handful are known to exist, and they have sold for over $1 million. The hunt is just beginning. If you found this valuable, hit that like button and subscribe to join us on the next treasure hunt. Your fortune might be closer than you think.